Hey everyone, it's your girl Jynnette the Oracle with Inner Sun Alchemy, and I am here to give you your tarot forecast for the month of March 2019. This is for the sign of Cancer. So if you have a rising sign, sun sign, moon sign, or north node in Cancer, this is going to be for you. I'm a Cancer sun, so I'm interested to see what messages come through. All right, the overall energy for everyone. And this is all signs, is mission of the soul. So we are at this juncture point of the shift from Pisces season into Aries season with the spring equinox of being firmly set, or still in the process with Pisces until we make that shift. But being firmly set on the path of whatever the next leg of the journey is going to be. In the coming months and possibly years, depending, okay? And in particular, since we are on the Cancer reading, the North Node being in Cancer right now, collectively can talk about the path of purpose during this time, which would take us up until the beginning of May of 2020. So this is about, a little under a year and a half of, well, no, at this point, it's going to be about a year of being on purpose in a different kind of way. So pay attention to that, Cancer, in general, because this our energy, I'll say, is a key focus, and there's a lot that is entailed with the Cancer energy. So to each his own. The overall message and guidance, for Cancer this month is the card of deception. So I got two. Well, originally, like when I was looking at the card, I just had one, but then a second message came in with that. So the first is, the surface message of the card, which is, deception, like watching and being mindful of where you may be deceived, whether knowingly or unknowingly, okay? Being mindful of that. Also understanding that you may not be seeing things clearly, not because of an issue with you, but just because so much is being shifted and changed. Like, you're one way now, a couple hours later, you have shifted. The next day, you're shifted in something else. Like, we probably are not aware of how much is being changed right now on our behalf. So just know that that is also a possibility that you're not seeing everything. So take a moment to, in all things, positive or negative, to check in and just see, like, okay, is this true? Am I seeing all that's there? And work with, your spirit team to help bring in that clarity. Now, the other thing that, the other message that came through with that, which surprised me a little bit, and it only just came in, as I was about to get into that card, was to be deceptive, okay? Meaning not showing everything. Not in a way to keep information from people, not in a malicious way, but to understand or kind of grok that wisdom around the importance of not showing all your cards, especially if we're talking about business, or not being so completely exposed that you don't have any boundaries, or that you are possibly leaving yourself open to things that are not for your highest and greatest good that you might not be aware of. Okay, so it's a conscious deception. It's a conscious kind of cloaking. Some Cancers can be better at this than others, depending on your chart, but those are all the messages. All right, relationships. Those of you in committed partnerships, you have the card of communication. So communicate. I know that's not easy for Cancer to do. You like to hold it, like to be holed up in your shell and give yourself all sorts of emotional experiences that are not necessarily justified by the external world. So make sure that you really do practice this month the process of communication, so that there's no misunderstandings, so that you're not deceiving yourself, right? But also, if you feel like there is deception, of course, you want to communicate. Those of you single and looking, whether someone's in the picture or not, well, if someone's not in the picture, this card of direction is saying that you need to take the initiative to put yourself out there. Because it is Pisces, which is a clearing energy, Pisces season right now, at least for the first part of the month, it may take a minute before you get traction or get some options because it's not a birthing energy, it's a releasing energy. But get the momentum going so that once we get into Aries season and on, you can be getting a nicer return. If you are currently dating somebody or there's somebody in the picture, you should find that things start moving forward as you go throughout the month. So take your time. Now, in terms of career, you have this card of journeying. This card I actually do associate with the Chariot card, which is the card of Cancer. So again, being on purpose, on your path, meeting key people along the way. This feels like this has actually already been in play for a while. So I think that that is fine, whether you are working for someone else or a corporation or whether you work for yourself. It's good. Keep asking for help, though, when you need it. And be open to making new contacts. Now, for finances, you have the card of being ready. All right, so I know that we are coming into tax season, or I mean, we're already in tax season, and that's going to be closing up in April. So maybe this is having to do with you preparing yourself financially for that stuff. But, as a water sign, this can talk about you seeing or making the shifts to reposition your emotional relationship to money and what you think that you can have or what you're worthy of. And you may find this month that a lot has shifted because of the work that you've been doing to release old patterns, release old beliefs that are not going to ultimately give you what you want in the future. Okay? So that's really beautiful. Let me get closing guidance for you, Cancer. Too many cards. It's interesting, the Gemini reading for their closing guidance, they got the Queen of Cups card, which is, Cancer. So if you have if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart for the personal planets, or if your Venus is in Gemini, which rules money and love, you might want to watch the Gemini reading because they might have a message for you, or that there might be a message in that for you. All right, too many cards. They're just flying out. Hold on. All right, a lot of energy, you guys. I know, it's a lot of messages. Let's try again. Okay. Three of Pentacles. As soon as I saw this, I heard relationships. But of course, it's Pentacles, so it can be work, but it also can be friends. It also could be a network. And of course, relationships. But I'm getting either business or love for that. And the clarity about that might actually come when we get into Taurus season, or the solidification of that. Like, this could be the beginning of building some important relationship or collaboration. This actually can talk about too. All right. So that is your message, Cancer. If you'd like to have your own private reading, you can book a session on my website, andersonalchemy.com. Also, please sign up for my newsletter when you get there. And there is some exciting stuff coming up, so be sure to be on the newsletter so you can get that exclusive info. Excuse me. And I think that's it. So love to you. Have an amazing